Hey guys, it's Linux Benchmarks here, and in today's video, we're going to be installing Fedora 39. So if you guys don't know, Fedora 39 just got released about, I don't know, like 9 hours ago, based off my reporting on looking around news articles about it. But it has released, you guys can go and download it. But I thought I'd just do an updated guide for how to install Fedora 39 if you're like a new user, for like, coming from Windows and you want to move to Linux. One of the distros of choice that you can install is Fedora. And yeah, so the first thing that you guys want to do, obviously, is go to the fedoraproject.org website, and you want to click on the latest release 39. And or you can just scroll down. So we want to click on the workstation. There is a couple others like the server one, the ITO one, Core OS. So if you want like a minimal container one, you can do that. But for the majority of people, you want to pick the workstation. Of course, if you're like new to Linux as well, you definitely want to pick the workstation one, as you don't want to really learn about containers and stuff like that. So you just want to click download, bring it to the download section. And you have a couple choices here. If you're on Windows or Mac, you can grab the media writer, or if you want to grab the ISO straight away, you can grab this one here, which is for Intel and AMD x86 systems. Of course, you can download the other ones, like if you have an ARM computer, you can grab the ISO here. And another one, if you have a Power PPC 64LE system, I don't even know what type of system that is, but you can grab an ISO for that as well. So for the majority of people, you probably have an x86 system, so you want to click download on this ISO. And I haven't installed this yet at all, so this will be my first time installing Fedora 39. I've been running the 39 beta version for quite a while on my laptop, but we're going to do a fresh install with Fedora Workstation. And also, this ISO here uses the GNOME edition, so if you want to grab the spins, I'm pretty sure you can just search up. If you just go to community, I think that might be where it is. You can grab, no, that's not where you grab it. Okay, here. So if you look here, you got spins. You can choose from a wide variety of different desktop environments. The one that I usually use is KDE Desktop, but for this video, we'll just use the GNOME version, as that's the default that Fedora likes. But definitely, if you want to get the KDE one, you just click KDE Desktop, download now. It'll bring you to this page, and you can pick the x86 version here or the ARM version. So now that the Fedora workstation is done downloading, we can now launch a ISO image writer. So for like Windows users, you can either, like I said, you can use the media writer.exe that's provided from Fedora, or you can grab Balena Etcher. That's another great flusher for like on Windows, and there's a couple others like Rufus. That's another one you can grab, but for me, I'm already on Linux, so I'm going to use the ones that are available on Linux. So this is the one I'm going to use, which is just a KDE ISO image writer. And we just wanted to select the Fedora workstation. We already have a USB plugged in, and we just want to create it. It's going to format it as well so that there is no issues. And yeah, so after this is done, I'm going to switch to my laptop, which is right here, and we are going to install Fedora on it. Also, for a quick note, I want to thank everyone for 900 subscribers. We're really close to 1,000, and that's really amazing. I never would have thought that I would be able to grow a relatively small Linux channel within like a year, and I hope that I continue to grow every year. I hope that Linux grows as well, and then I grow with it. But yeah, just thank you for everyone that has subscribed, liked, and comment on my channel. I really do appreciate it. All right, as you guys can see here, it is done flashing to the USB. So of course, the next thing you guys want to do is plug it into the computer you want to install Linux on. So for me, it's going to be on my laptop. So I'm just going to rip it out of my computer, and I'm going to put it into my laptop. So as you guys can see here, I've been running Debian as my main desktop environment for quite a while on the laptop. So we're just going to restart here. and we're going to boot into the USB. As you can see here, now we're booting into Fedora 39. It came up with like you need a test media before you actually boot into it. So it's just going to scan the USB to make sure that the ISO is a valid ISO. It's like not corrupt or anything. But I just clicked the other one, which is just boot straight into it. And as we can see here, we are now in the USB. So it says, welcome to Fedora. This live media can be used to install Fedora or as a temporary system. Installation can be started at any time using the install icon in activities. So we're going to click install Fedora. You guys can see the new wallpaper that they use as well. I do vibe with it. It's a pretty decent wallpaper, but I would instantly switch it to something else that I like. But it is a good wallpaper nonetheless. All right, and welcome to Fedora 39. What language would you like to use during the installation process? So this way you can click your, whatever language. So I'm just going to be English Australia. It should pick the keyboard as well already. And we want to go to our installation destination, and we're going to pick our SSD that we have here. We can just set this to automatic. It means it will just do all the partitioning for us. We want to reclaim the space, which means, just to delete it all so we can claim it. And then we want to basically just begin the installation. See if the time and date is correct, your keyboard's correct, and if that's all good, yeah, just begin the installation and it will start installing. Alright, and here we are. We have finally booted into Fedora 39, and I've set the dark mode up and it has changed the wallpaper to its dark version, which I actually really like, so maybe I will just keep it as default. But as you guys can see here, but when you first boot into Fedora, it comes up with a little quick setup that you have to go through. We choose your Wi-Fi, you enable a third-party repository. You do want to enable that. And then it will boot us into the GNOME environment where we can start customizing things. So if you don't know about GNOME and how it works, if you're like brand new to the GNOME desktop environment, we have a little quick settings panel here which we can click, and it'll open up different types of things like our Bluetooth, our Wi-Fi, our power mode, our nightlight, our dark style, and our airplane mode. So we can just click this if we want to click on different Wi-Fi. We can also enable our Bluetooth and look for Bluetooth devices finally, which is really good as this was not here before and you had to go into settings to pair a device, but now we can just quickly do it from the quick settings. We can click on if you want to change your sound output, you can just select it here, or like volume. We can change our brightness. And yeah, that's what the quick settings is. We can also click here, which comes up with a calendar mode with our notifications. So if you want to look at the date, your notifications, if you want to clear it, or if you want to turn on do not disturb, you can all do it in here. And then this is where all our separate desktops that you have set up. So by default, I think there's like two, but you can make an unlimited amount of different types of desktops. So here we can we can set up a second one, which I don't like creating different desktops. I like to just stay on the main one. Because I don't know, I just don't want to separate things. I just want everything to be in one place. But I know a lot of people like to separate their work and their gaming and stuff like that in two different things. So you can do that if you want to. And if we press our super key, we can look at the dock here, where this is where all your apps will be pinned. You can change this if you install the extension manager. We can add like a dock or a panel, but by default, you have to click the super key to bring up the dock. So the next thing you guys will want to do is open up the software, which is where you'll get all your apps from, like your flatpak applications, your .rpm applications, and where you'll do your updates. So if we check our preferences first of all, we have automatic updates, automatic update notifications, and show only free apps. So if you want to only show open source free applications that don't have any proprietary stuff in it, they're just free basically, you can enable this. But for a lot of people who want to use apps like Steam, Discord, a bunch of other applications, you want to leave this disabled, and it's disabled by default. So that's really good. And then we also have like automatic updates. So if you want to download automatic updates in the background, it's going to do that for you. I'm actually going to untick that as I don't want the app to do automatic updates for me. I want to do it manually, when I want to do it. But if we go to the updates section here, we have a lot of updates to install, like multimedia codecs, software, our settings, the maps, files, calendar, and then system updates, which there is a bunch to install. So I'm going to do this, and you guys should too. It seems like it's already downloaded, the update, so we can just simply just restart and update it. As you guys can see here, this is the little screen that will come up when you try to do a update from the software manager store. It will just bring up installing updates, kind of like with Windows. Fedora likes to do this. What other distros don't do this, you just like install an update through the store, and then the next time you would restart, it would install it. And Fedora does the same thing. It's just like if you want to update it like right now, you would have to go through this, and then yeah, it just shows a progress bar, and then when it's done, it will just reboot, and then your updates will be installed. All right, and now that we are boot backed into Fedora 39, the next thing that we will probably want to do is enable the RPM Fusion repositories. Now, there's two RPM Fusion repositories. There is the non-free and the free repository. It's pretty explanatory. The free repository, it has free applications included that are not included in Fedora 39, and then there's a non-free, which is basically the proprietary type application. So applications like Discord, for example. So if you want the system RPM version of Discord, you would need to install the non-free repository to get that. Even though I would say just install the flatpak version of Discord these days, as it is verified now by Discord. Discord actually owns the flatpak application now, but we're still going to enable these repositories. So you want to open your terminal. I'll leave a link in the description for you guys to, actually, no, I'll just link these commands in the description of the video, which you guys can just copy and paste into the terminal. And you guys just want to type in your password and enable them. Probably one of the other things while the repositories are updating at the moment is to go through some of the settings. So what I usually like to do is I go into power, I disable dim screen. I don't really care about battery life type stuff, as sometimes it blanks at the wrong moments when I'm like watching something. Also, there's a power button behavior we can choose. So I'm going to choose it to power off. I'm going to choose show battery percentage, so it shows up here. And then automatic suspend, we're going to turn these off as well. Probably the other thing is we can go to mouse and touchpad. This is where you can change your pointer speed. You can turn off mouse acceleration. I always like to turn off mouse acceleration. We can also look at some other things. We can look at default apps, which these should be all selected properly. We can go to appearance as well. This is where we can add our background or change our style from white and dark mode, so it will switch between the date and time based off the date and time you chose, or you can just change it to dark, which is what I do. But this, yeah, like I said before, you can add backgrounds here as well. We can go to the multitask section. We can change our workspaces. As I was talking before with the dots, we're going to change it to just one, as I don't need any more workspaces. I'm not going to be using this very much. I just use it for basically watching content like Jellyfin off my Jellyfin server. We can also connect some online accounts if you want to. I haven't found a real use for this, as I sign everything in my browser. I don't really change much else. Probably the next thing though that we would do is grab the GNOME Tweaks app. This is a very important app if you want to include the minimize and maximize, as this isn't enabled by default on the GNOME desktop. I don't know why. I'm guessing it's just a design decision that they chose. But we can install this app that will allow us to bring those back. And not just change the minimize and maximize, we can also change fonts on here. So you just want to go to, I'm pretty sure it's Windows, and we see here maximize and minimize. So we want to select these two, and then boom, there we go. We've got our minimize and maximize on all Windows. We can also add like startup applications if you want to. Most of this stuff is all like built into settings, but like I said, there's a couple things that are left out that you can change here. You know, if you wanted to get started into theming GNOME, which isn't really recommended, but I know there's plenty of people that rise the GNOME desktop and make it look real pretty. So you can do that. You can change like icon packs and stuff like that. I'm not going to go into that as I don't want to do that. I just want to leave it all vanilla. And then like before, what I said before with the GNOME extensions, if we search up the extension manager, as you can see here, this is the app I'm talking about. We can install this one, and this will just allow us to install extensions on GNOME, which is basically another way of customizing the GNOME desktop and changing how GNOME works. So like when I used to main GNOME on my main desktop, I used to add a dash to panel or dash to dock, which is basically just a panel or a dock for pinning applications. So instead of having to press your super key to see your dock, you could just see it like right below. So it would be kind of similar to like Windows. Also, our first RPM Fusion free repository was added. So the next one we want to do is the non-free one. All right, and now that our RPM Fusion repositories are enabled, we can install an app like Discord, for example. For some reason, the Discord application doesn't show up on the GNOME software store, so you do have to do it through the terminal. So if you have never used if you've never used DNF, it's just another type of way for installing different applications or removing or doing updates or upgrades. So you just want to do sudo DNF install and then Discord. And it should find it, and it should be able to install it for us. Now, of course, if you guys don't want to install the system version, as you can see, it has found it. You guys can just go to your store and you can just search for the flatpak version of Discord. This is officially maintained by Discord now. A couple of days ago, they were able to get the Discord developers to take what's it called? Like just take care of the application. So you can see here, there's a tick next to it now that it's verified. We can just click install, but we are going to install the system version instead. And it is running the latest update. One of the things is that Fedora doesn't keep up to date with the system version of Discord, and that's why you guys maybe should just install the Flatpak version, as sometimes when an update comes out, Fedora, whoever maintains the Discord version on the RPM Fusion repository, always takes a little bit to update it. So yeah, I'd probably just install the Flatpak one. It does the exact same thing. The only difference is that it can't see your processes, which is kind of like a security thing, but that means that the Discord rich presence feature just won't work, as it simply just can't see your processes on your computer. Now, there is ways around that. Like on my main PC, I use an app called Steam Presence, which I'll link below if you guys want to go check that out. It's pretty easy to set up, and it will just like grab your Steam profile of whatever game you're playing, and then it will just display it as under your Discord profile as a rich presence. But now we have Discord installed. We can install Steam as well. So if you want to play games, obviously, and as you can see here, we want to select the non-free Steam version. You can install the Flatpak version. I've been running the Flatpak version on my main system, and it runs perfectly fine. You just need to give permissions to see other drives in the Flatpak version of Steam, as it can't see that, so you have to give permission. But you can see here, which one click install on the RPM version one, and this won't take long to install for us. Probably the next thing that you guys want to do is install the video codecs, as I'm pretty sure if we check Twitch right now, streams, I don't think streams work properly on Fedora because the codecs aren't installed. As we can see here, we get an error. So we have to enable that. So as we can see here, we have to basically enable the Cisco Open H.264 codec for websites like Twitch and Kick, which use this codec. So you just want to copy this command, go back to your terminal, paste it, and enable it. And then the next one is to install the plugin for FIREFOX, and then do that. All right, and now that it's installed, if we reopen Firefox, we should be able to watch some Twitch streams. All right, so I'm back. I had to go do some things, and I had a shower. So we were up to looking at Twitch to see if the H.264 codec did work. And after we enabled it, we launched Twitch. It should show, as we can see here, that Twitch is working. And another one is kick.com. It's another one that uses the exact same H.264 codec that is required. And if we go to kick, and we go to, I don't know, there's a random streamer here, this guy. And as we can see here, it is working. So one of the other things with Fedora 39 or just Fedora in general, they don't install all of the codecs for you, which can be required if you're using system packages of apps like VLC or like that MPV application. So you're going to need to copy and paste these commands here. I'll leave them in the description for you guys to grab. And as we can see, we'll just grab this one. Just want to copy that. Oh my God. Wait, I have a mouse. I completely forgot. All right, so we're going to copy this, go it to our terminal. I'm going to do this just to install all of it. It's around 1.3 gigs of install size, and this will just install all the required codecs. So like, yeah, if you use a specific application, like a system packaged version of like VLC or something, without these, you'll have some random graphical issues if you try to play like a video or something like that. So you just want to install these. As we can see here, now they are installed. So now we want to do this next command in our terminal. Password again. Install this, which is called lame for some reason. And then we want to do the last one, which would be a group upgrade for the optional multimedia stuff. Whoops, that should work still. And then so we're going to have to add the skip broken packages, and then we're going to have to add the allow raising so that it can replace these codecs. Now these codecs are very good. The ones it's going to switch over to are some of the FMPEG, the free world. So this is okay. You can replace these. You shouldn't have any issues. And what I said before as well, like you don't have to install these. If you're going to use the flatpak version of video players like VLC, like I do, just use the flatpak version, then you don't really have to install these codecs. I just like to install them just in case if I install a system package. So you can skip this if you want to. But just to make sure, like to be safe or whatever like that, you should install these. And the next thing you probably want to do would be, I'll probably say Nvidia drivers. So if you have a Nvidia GPU, you need to install your graphics drivers. And since we've enabled the RPM Fusion repositories, we can grab the Nvidia Linux graphics driver. As you can see here, this is the mainline one, which is on 535.129.03. So if you have a GPU that's older than like the 900 series, I think you need to install the 470 graphics driver here. So like, yeah, anything that's lower than the 900 series, you would need the 470 driver, I'm pretty sure. But for everyone else that has a graphics card that is a 900 series or above, you just want to grab the normal mainline version. I'm running Intel, so I don't have to do this. And the next thing would probably be, if you guys want to customize GNOME and like do, like if you want to add a panel, if you want to add like blurring effects when you do the super key, then this is the app that you would use to grab the extensions and then to apply the extensions. You can also remove the watermark that Fedora uses. So it's the watermark right here, so we can just untick this and it will disappear. It's just like, if you just want to flex that you're using Fedora, I guess. I'll leave it as it does look quite nice. on the wallpaper. But some of the popular extensions that people use are like dash to panel, dash to dock. There's also like some application menus. So if you want to get like what Windows has or like what KDE Plasma has, where it's like, you know, you have your applications in a little app menu instead of like on GNOME, you have an app menu like this. But instead it would be more like on Windows or like on KDE Plasma, where it's in like a little square where you can, you know, launch them. All right, and as you can see here, there is some that we can install. So if you want to load like shell themes, for example, you want to get really into like customization, you would install user themes. If you want an extension list, so this will just basically show a list of extensions on your top panel. You can use that. So for us, what we're going to use is let's see if we can find it here. I think we need to do downloads and then we should be able to find it. So there's dash to dock and dash to panel. We're going to install dash to panel. What this will do is we'll bring everything down to the bottom. And it will kind of just be like, you know, kind of like Windows, you could say. So if we go to the right click on this panel, we can go dash to panel settings and we can like make it hide. We can make it smaller. So we're going to make it smaller. We can go style, icon margin, so we can squish the apps more closer, and then the padding, so we can make them either smaller or bigger. We're just gonna leave them on by default. We can change the indicator style, so if you wanna, you can do dots. I usually do dots. We can do the panel opacity. We can change it to dynamic so that it's kind of see-through with the wallpaper, but when you open an app, I think it should go black. Or wait, dynamic opacity, change opacity when a window gets close to the panel. Oh, I see. There we go. That's interesting. Okay. We can also apply a theme gradient. We can change the behavior. We can really like fine tune like how we want dash to panel to work. And same goes with dash to dock. Dash to dock is similar to like Mac OS, where it's kind of like a floating dock. So if we disable dash to panel, then we can see here that we have a nice dock, which is, I'm pretty sure it literally just grabs this dock from the original way of your dock showing up in here, but it just makes it show up everywhere else basically. I prefer the dash to panel though, because it squishes everything down below and it gives you more screen real estate for your apps. And that's basically it, I would say. There's not much else you can really, you know, there's tons of other things you can do on Fedora, but for the gist of it, like we've installed updates, we've enabled all the codecs that we need, and basically you can just go on here and find the apps that you need. So like, you know, like I'm pretty sure we do have Steam installed now, so we could launch that, and that will set up itself. You can just like start playing games with Proton and it would just, you know, all work basically. So if you guys did enjoy this video, I definitely would give it a like. Subscribe if you want to, if you made it this far through the video. I would really appreciate it, as we're getting really close to 1,000 subscribers, which is insane to me. So I want to thank everyone again for 900 subs. I really do appreciate it. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.